What's good, everybody? This is WhiteBoy
This guy's a
3.
fucking idiot. We'll explain. Keep going.
So it's 2 a.m. in the morning, and me and Sam are on Skype together talking about a topic that is kind of, I guess, controversial, which is morality versus happiness. The reason he says I'm retarded is because we already recorded it, but when I gave him the chance to explain his stance on it, I looked down at OBS.
Oh my god.
And there was no system audio, so you guys couldn't hear what he was saying. You guys just got to sit here and watch me like stare at the screen. I'm so sorry. Alright, so I guess I'll no, go ahead, I'll let you go
you
first.
start. You
I'll
start. You do
Okay.
what you do. Explain it.
So, basically, the topic, like I said, was morality versus happiness. You know, whether or not it's more important to believe, or more important, what's more important, morals or being happy. The reason I bring up this topic is because I'm kind of in the situation, and I know someone who also is in this type of situation, where morals are being tested as well as happiness is being tested, and just basically what's more important. Would you rather be happy or follow morals? And I googled it, morality, just to make sure that I wasn't retarded on the actual definition of it. And the definition, when you type it into Google, is principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong or good and bad behavior. For me personally, and I know a lot of people may not feel the same way about this, but I feel that morality is based on what others think, because it's like people decide what is right or wrong. You know, like well, let's just say, for example, you know, murder. You know, it's a collective moral that you shouldn't murder, right? You know, that's something that everybody can agree with. You know, that's a single, not a singular moral, but it's a plural moral that we, I guess, all have as, you know, I guess, a nation or as a civilization, or fucking whatever you want to call it. And it's really subjective, because it's like, it's kind of like, you know, it's what everybody else thinks. And for me, if you know me, you know I could give two fucking shits less about, you know, what others think. So I'm kind of, you know, I'm faced with the, I guess, the great debate about whether, you know, should I make the decision to do something that, you know, majority of people would make the decision as, you know, a morally right decision. Or should I choose to, okay, if I did choose the morally right decision, I would then be unhappy. Or should I choose to be happy and say, fuck what everyone else thinks? I guess when I put it that way, I know a lot of people are probably going to say, without context of the situation, of course, and don't worry, it's not murder or anything like that.
We didn't kill anybody.
No, we didn't, I swear to God. No FBI at my fucking door. But I guess for most people, like, when I word it like that, I have a feeling that most people are going to be like, well, if it makes you happy, then do what it is, as long as it doesn't harm others. Well, it doesn't in a physical sense. By any means, there's no physical harm being done in the situation or anything. Of course, I won't go into details because it's kind of a personal thing that's beyond me sharing here on you know, YouTube or the internet or whatever the fuck you want to say. But for me, I just think it's a really good topic to talk about, because I know there's going to be so many people who are going to have different opinions, and I was kind of curious of what you guys thought about it. You know, I know how I feel and I know how Sam feels, and you know, it's just it's a controversial topic, and I think that's a great thing to talk about, because that's kind of how things should go. You know, it's just like, if you have a different feeling, you know, if you feel that morality is more important, then that's, by all means, that's completely okay. I won't hate you for it. You know, I don't agree with it. You know, I feel that, you know, as long as I'm not doing harm to others in a physical manner, you know, if someone gets hurt in the process emotionally, then, you know, that's just kind of how the world works. You know, it's
collateral damage.
Yeah, it's collateral damage, just like he said. But if it's, like I said, if I'm not harming anybody physically, I don't see why it's an issue that I should not be happy, and others should not be happy. You know, it's because, you know, that's what everybody always says. You know, all we want is for you to be happy. Well, if I was happy, you guys wouldn't agree with me being happy, if that makes sense, you know, because I would have to break something that as a people would be morally wrong. You know, I would have to do something that is morally wrong. You know, something that people look down on other people for. So I just think it's definitely something that it's kind of tricky to figure out. I mean, it's a case by case basis, or in a person by person basis at the same time, you know. And so I'm gonna let Sam take over and.
You said it very well, actually. There was a part of that where other people will always be like, yeah, I want you to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do something that is like kind of not morally like right, they'll be like, well, I don't, now that you did that, I don't want you to be happy.
Yeah.
And a situation I can think of. Why are you cutting out, by the way?
I'm cutting out?
That might be my headset. Sorry, everybody. Anyway, it's kind of like a situation where, let's say, for example, like my parents aren't really like, cool with me doing YouTube, but it makes me happy, right? And I think that your happiness should always come first. So if I keep doing YouTube, sure, they're going to be like, that's morally not right to do in their eyes, because again, it is like a very opinion-based thing.
Yeah.
But it's what makes me happy, so I'm going to do that. I always think you should put your happiness and, if you can, the happiness of others at the same time above anything else, like above fucking morality and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, because like we actually said, you know, it's if there's collateral damage, you know, that's just kind of how the world works. There's nothing you can do. You're not gonna please everybody all the time.
Whatever you do, I think at least in some way it's gonna negatively affect someone else. So who the fuck cares? Just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like for me, like I said in the last recording, like I'm by no means I'm not gonna let someone else's morals or the public's morals get in the way. Like if this is what makes me happy, like Sam said, and I don't necessarily face this because my mom is very supportive with me doing YouTube and streaming and all that, but my father isn't. My father thinks it's a waste of time. He thinks I need to go out and do construction. You know, I need to do something that he would do. You know, he believes that. And if he ever watches this, you know, fuck off. Simple as that. You know, I love doing what I do, and I'm not gonna let anyone or anything get in my way of me being happy. You know, like he said, this is what makes us happy, and you know, if that costs us, you know, people's emotions or, you know, anything like that, then fuck it. That's just what it takes to be happy. And I just don't think, I guess for our standpoint, you know, if you are in this kind of a situation, not necessarily the exact same, but, you know, if you're in this situation where you're kind of deciding whether or not you want to do something that'll make you happy, but not necessarily make others happy, do it. It's as simple as that, because this sounds kind of selfish, but at the end of the day, you're all that matters. You to yourself is all that matters. You know, if not, you're not always going to be able to please everybody. And there's actually a quote, and I can't think of it right now, but it's like, "Duh, that shit's deep," you know. It's basically how it goes is like, it's basically foolish to try to please everybody all the time. There's no reason, because it's physically not possible to make everyone happy. You know, it's just not. And so I definitely want to know what you guys think about this. You know, what's your opinions? What's your standpoint on this? Yeah, tell me in the comment section down below, and maybe we'll do this more often. If you guys want us to, you know, me and Sam, you know, or me and Akasha, or me and someone else, or just me, if you guys want us to talk about something that maybe is kind of more in depth or more
deep conversation.
Yeah, a deep conversation. Because I mean, I've always prided myself on the fact that I'm not just gaming. I don't want to be just singly classified as one kind of YouTuber. I want to be, you know, I couldn't necessarily be a vlogger because I don't think I have that. I don't have an interesting life, so I couldn't necessarily do that. But I love doing these kind of videos for you guys. I love, you know, sitting here and talking about what I feel is right and my standpoint on a lot of stuff. So if you guys have any suggestions, you know, maybe, like I said, maybe we can make a series out of this. Maybe we can do this more often, or just anytime me and Sam are like, hey, that's good. We should talk about
Deep
that.
inside WhiteBoy. Let's call it. That's
not gonna be the fucking title because that sounds
Please.
really.
Please, I would love that so much. Vote in the comments below for a name. If it's deep inside WhiteBoy, I'll pay you money.
Or I guess like we'll think about that later. If we do continue doing this, then we'll definitely think about that later. We're coming up over 10 minutes now. So if you've made it all the way to the end of this very long ass video, I want you to use that word right there in your comments, so I know that you made it all the way to the end.
And if you haven't, then fuck you.
Yeah.
It's a 10-minute video. What are you doing?
Exactly. So we'll talk to you guys later.
Peace. Peace.